Sonic 3 hasn't even premiered yet, but one thing I can guarantee is that this third movie will surpass the box office of the last two films, and that will make Sonic 4 happen sooner than you think. Mark my words. The introduction of Shadow will take this movie to another level, and Sonic fans will go crazy, just like Paramount's Piggy Banks, because no one really doubts that this will be the best movie of the franchise. But now I ask you, after watching the trailer, what's actually going to happen in this movie? Will it really just be Sonic and his team against Shadow, or are there more hidden surprises that we'll only discover in the theaters? If I told you that actually, Shadow is going to end up being a hero alongside Sonic, and together they'll fight against something bigger, you'd probably say I'm crazy, right? Don't worry, because today I'm going to prove that this will happen, and I'll show you some likely events that have a good chance of happening in the movie, because now you're watching another Cine Lovers, your favorite cinema channel. Honestly, Paramount knows that this movie is flawless, and that a story featuring Shadow and once again Jim Carrey's presence can and will make this movie easily break the $500 million box office mark. In fact, this movie is a milestone not only because it will be the first trilogy Jim Carrey has ever been a part of, but also because he'll be playing two characters, now with the addition of Gerald Robotnik, the grandfather of Dr. Eggman Robotnik. And speaking of Gerald, that's exactly who I want to start with for the first possible scenario that might play out in this movie. I don't know if you know what Dr. Eggman's grandfather has to do with Shadow, but I'll sum it up for you. Everything! Shadow was created decades ago by Gerald to cure diseases, while he was in partnership with Earth's government, but that ended in disaster. And that, in fact, was Gerald's fault, as he used Project Shadow for his own benefit by taking advantage of the DNA of an alien named Black Doom, who was on his way to Earth and ended up encountering the space colony where Gerald lived. To sum up the story, when the government found out about Black Doom's involvement in the project, they sent orders to eliminate everyone in the colony where Gerald lived. However, Shadow had already been created and had grown very attached to a girl named Maria, who was none other than Gerald's granddaughter. Gerald was focused on finding a cure for a disease she had. A shootout broke out in the colony after the government sent an elite squad to eliminate everyone, and just before dying, Maria sent Shadow to Earth with a request that he make people happy and help them. However, shortly after landing here in our world, the government found him still in his capsule and froze him for 50 years. Just a little while, right? Another thing that takes just a little while is for you to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Stop missing out on my videos about Sonic 3 and come be a part of the Cine Lovers family that grows every day. You guys are awesome. Okay, but where am I going with all of this? If Gerald was already an old man when Shadow was born, and after that, Shadow was frozen for 50 years, how does Gerald appear in the Sonic 3 trailer and even meet his grandson? A possible explanation is that Dr. Eggman is having hallucinations where he meets his grandfather, and from that, he gets answers to help him fight alongside Sonic against Shadow. After all, we didn't see Gerald interact with anyone else in the trailer besides his grandson. To help you understand better, in the original story, after everyone in the colony is killed, Gerald is forced to keep working on Shadow, even though he is inactive. He uses that time to write in a diary that if anyone has the goal of destroying Earth, they should activate Shadow again, and with his power, it would be possible. And shortly after that, Gerald died. The key reason Shadow turns against the world and humans is that they were responsible for killing Maria, which we can briefly see in a scene in the trailer. Whether they will be faithful enough to show the death of a child, we don't know, but something will happen to her for Shadow to be so vengeful like that. They might take advantage of this to make Gerald the final villain of the movie, since, as it seems he's alive, the guy is filled with rage against humans for killing his granddaughter. Another thing that was completely left out of the trailer, but might happen, is the appearance of Black Doom, that alien who provided his DNA for the creation of Shadow and had the intention of destroying Earth. Maybe you don't know this, but in the game stories, Shadow confronts Black Doom, and Doom even has mind control over Shadow, which could explain his rage if Maria doesn't die in that scenario. I could be wrong, but I have a strong feeling that the movie won't end with a fight between Sonic and Shadow. For me, after a conversation, Shadow will side with Sonic. Another hint that something bigger will come up and force them to team up is that Sonic hands over a strand of his hair, a quill, to Dr. Eggman, allowing for the creation of Metal Sonic, a cruel and powerful robotic version of Sonic. In fact, I made a special video about the possible appearance of Metal Sonic in this movie. Just click on the card after this video. The possibilities are endless. This trailer blew everyone's minds. Guys, Shadow is connected to Black Doom, as well as Dr. Gerald. The quill that Sonic gives Dr. Eggman opens the door for Metal Sonic to appear. Seriously, the hype for this movie couldn't be higher. Beyond these mysteries involving how this showdown between Sonic and Shadow will conclude, whether it will be just a clash between them or if a bigger threat will make them unite, there were also some suspicious things happening in the comments section of a Sonic 3 clip. In the comments of a video, Paramount was replying with a lighthearted tone, interacting with fans, until one guy mentioned the appearance of Amy Rose in the movie, saying, "So Amy is in Sonic 3, thanks for the info," and Paramount responded with, "I said too much," along with a crying emoji, as if to say no one was supposed to find out she would be in the movie. And the story doesn't stop there. After that reply, which practically confirmed she would be in the movie, Paramount deleted the comment, probably because someone higher up noticed, and after that slip-up, the intern responding was definitely fired. Tell me, do you want Amy to appear in the movie? Even if it's just in a post-credits scene, comment below. I definitely want her. And about Metal Sonic, do you think the quill that Sonic gives Robotnik will be used in this same movie to create him? Comment below what you think will happen in this movie. And to help you stay hyped for Sonic 3, you can watch this video where I explain more about the possible appearance of Amy Rose in this third movie. Also, check out this other video where I show you the 28 secrets you missed in the Sonic 3 trailer. Thank you so much for making it this far, and I'll see you in the next Cine Lovers.